Theory of Bloom. Olympia, January 19th, 2010. Paris, November 24th, 1999. In other words, the book has always had its existence outside of the self.
So basically, I got a lot of people together. I got Popcorn here, help me out, my sponsor. But I kept my head up high, brother. I knew things were going to change. I knew it. I was the only one. I never had no one to hear me. I didn't know one had to see me.
So maybe somebody should thank us?
That's right, maybe somebody should thank us. Look, I got some shit I gotta do, okay?
Oh, you got nothing to do.
I got some shit to do.
It was late when Jimmy got home from all the shit he had to do.
person you think is you, your ego, right? When I say your name, who you think you are, your past history, all your beliefs, all your assumptions about how the world works, right? The bottom line is, all of that is a concept. All that is conceptual. It doesn't actually exist anywhere.
On est hyper déterminés à pouvoir reconstruire aujourd'hui un lieu collectif emblématique de la ZAD.
Dès que les flics s'en iront, on transportera cette structure pour traverser la D81 et l'amener là où on avait décidé de l'amener, c'est-à-dire au Gourbi, et reconstruire ce lieu collectif pour la 5e fois.
Le serment qui a été fait en octobre 2016, le jour de la manifestation des bateaux, il est tenu par les gens et voilà, c'est magnifique.
Ça donne en fait d'autant plus l'impression d'avoir raison de se battre contre le capitalisme et contre la violence policière.
Si aujourd'hui l'État n'accepte pas la ZAD, c'est très symbolique du fait que l'État n'accepte plus en fait les contre-pouvoirs et d'autres manières de vivre et de penser dans le monde.
On va laisser passer ça là-bas. Attention derrière.
Your mind is probably hooked on all sorts of external stimulation. So you've got to intentionally unhook yourself and start very small.
We called for a big mobilization on the Saturday to bring people to the territory as a show of force that there are still tens of thousands of people ready to defend the ZAD. And it was a pretty extraordinary day. For 2 days non-stop, 20 carpenters had been building under the barn of the future, which is this extraordinary cathedral-like barn. They'd been building out using the wood from the forest of Rohan, our forest, had been building these timber frames for the erection of a large timber-framed meeting house and market hall for the No Market. The idea was that this would be put at the Gourbi. The Gourbi is a site right in the middle of the zone. So these frames were built day and night, working 20 carpenters. And the morning of the action, we see that the whole zone has been cut off by the police. They take all the center of the zone. Basically, they make a huge kettling off the whole area of the zone where we wanted to rebuild and where they had already destroyed the 30 squats that they claimed to have destroyed during the operation so far. And so people had to basically come through the fields, leave their cars outside, and find ways in. And we had no idea what we were going to do. So about 10,000 people turned up, and we said, look, have your picnic and we'll have an assembly of the occupiers and the peasants and so on, and we'll try and decide what to do, but stay there. So we went off into a field, and about 50 or 100 of us maybe tried to make a decision about what the fuck we were going to do now that the police had completely blockaded the zone and cut all the areas off, and especially the Gorby. And the decision was made to carry the barn by hand across the zone to as near the police line as possible, but not force the police line to the Gorby, because that would mean gassing everyone who'd come, and there were many families and elderly people who had come. And the other decision was to pull up the sticks that are at Bellevue, this farm where the mobilization began from. Now, these sticks and staffs were planted in 2016, and so we asked people to take back their sticks and go to the come with the barn frames with their sticks and place the sticks in the giant circular palisade around the new site of the barn, which happened. And it was an extraordinary moment, seeing hundreds of people carrying these massive oak barn frames made from the trees of Hoan. I mean, it was really beautiful. And the barn started to be built, and as it was being built, people went right to the front where the police had taken a front line across one of the fields. And of course, the police began to gas and attack people there, even though there was an incredible discipline. All the barricaders and all the black bloc kids, basically no one confronted the police on that day because they knew there were so many families, and it was really a proof of the power of diversity of resistance again. And then at 8 o'clock, suddenly the police left. And a load of folk went, well, the police have gone, why don't we move the barn? And so in this act of kind of heroic magic, about 100 people picked up this incredibly heavy barn and moved it across 3 kilometers of muddy wetlands through the night as the night was falling. We picked it up just as the sun was going down, and we arrived there a few hours later, 3 kilometers through hedgerows. I mean, it was extraordinary seeing this walking barn crossing the bocage and arriving at Gorby. And it arrived at Gorby, and fireworks were set off, flares were lit, a huge bonfire took place, and we celebrated the kind of audacity of that move.
And this proves to you that really a lot of your depression is self-created. Your natural state is not a depressive state. that's it. Now, I know this video ran a little bit long, and that's because there's a lot of deep stuff here, plus a few practical tips. So I'm going to wrap it up here. But really think about how to find your passion in life.